Artificial intelligence and machine learning. What's the difference? Are they the same? Well, a few individuals kind of outline the address this way: it's AI versus ML. Is that the proper way to think of this? Or is it I equals ML? Or is it AI is by one means or another something distinctive than ML? So, here's 3 equations. I wonder which one is planning to be right. Well, let's conversation almost this. First of all, when we conversation almost AI, I think it's critically to come with definitions because a part of individuals has diverse thoughts of what this is. So, I'm progressing to assert the basic definition that AI is fundamentally surpassing or matching the capabilities of a human. So, we're attempting to coordinate the insights, anything meaning, and capabilities of a human subject. Now, what seem that involve? There's a number of distinctive things. For occasion, one of them is the capacity to find, to discover out modern information. Another is the capacity to infer, to studied in data from other sources that maybe has not been explicitly stated. And then 2, the capacity to reason. The capacity to figure things out. I put this together and I come up with something else. So, I'm planning to recommend to you this is often what AI is, and that's the definition we'll utilize for this discussion. Now, what sorts of things at that point would be included in case we were talking almost doing machine learning? Well, machine learning, I'm planning to put that over here, is essentially a capability. We'll begin with a Venn diagram. Machine learning includes predictions or choices based on data. Think about this as an awfully modern shape of measurable analysis. It's looking for expectations based upon data that we have. So, the more we nourish into the system, the more it's able to give us precise forecasts and choices based upon that data. It's something that learns, that's the L part, rather than having to be programmed. When we program a framework, I got to come up with all the code, and in case I wanted to do something different, I ought to go alter the code and after that get a diverse outcome. In the machine learning situation, what I'm doing might be adjusting some models, but it's different than programming. And for the most part it's learning the more information that I grant to it. So, it's based on huge sums of information, and there's a handful of distinctive areas inside, a few of diverse types. There is administered machine learning, and, as you might figure, there's an unsupervised machine learning. And the fundamental distinction, as the title suggests, is one has more human oversight. Looking at the preparing of the data, using names that are superimposed on the data. Unsupervised is kind of able to run more and discover things that were not explicitly stated. Okay, so that's machine learning. It turns out that there's a subfield of machine learning that we call deep learning. And what is profound learning? Well, this involves things like neural networks. Neural systems included hubs and factual connections between those nodes to show the way that our minds work. And it's called profound, since we're doing different layers of those neural networks. Now, the interesting thing almost deep learning is we will end up with a few exceptionally curiously insights, but we might not continuously be able to tell how the system came up with that. It doesn't continuously appear its work fully. So, we can end up with a few truly curiously information. Not know in a few cases how solid that is, because we do not know precisely how it was derived. But it's still an awfully important part of all of this realm that we're managing with. So those are 2 zones, and you'll be able to see that DL may be a subset of ML. But what approximately fake intelligence? Where does that fit within the Venn diagram? And I'm going to propose to you it is the superset of ML, DL, and a bunch of other things. What may the other things be? Well, ready to include things like natural dialect processing. It might be vision. So, we need a system that's able to see. We might indeed need a framework that's able to hear. And be able to recognize what it's hearing and what it's seeing. Because after all, people are able to do that. And that's portion of what our brains do, is distinguish those kinds of things. It can include other things just like the capacity to do text-to-speech. So, on the off chance that we take composed words, concepts and be able to talk those out. So, this first one included being able to see things. This is presently being able to speak those things as well. And at that point other things that people are able to do naturally that we frequently take for allowed as motion. This is the field of robotics, which could be a subset of AI. The ability to just do simple things like tie our shoes, open and near the entryway, lift something, walk somewhere. That's all something that would be part of human capabilities. And includes certain sorts of perceptions, calculations that we do in our brains that we do not indeed think about. So, here's what it comes down to. It's a Venn chart and we've got machine learning, we've got profound learning, and we've got AI. So, I'm aiming to suggest to you, the correct way to think about this is not these equations. Those are not the way to look at it. In fact, what we ought to think about this as machine learning could be a subset of AI. And that's how we require to think about this. When I'm doing machine learning, in fact, I am doing AI. When I'm doing these other things, I'm doing AI, but none of them are all of AI. But they're a really important part. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel. So, we can continue to bring you content that matters to you.